Hello guys and welcome to F1 2016 on the Noble 2909 channel. It's been a long time since we've had an upload, far too long, let's be honest, but F1 is finally here. It's something new to get our teeth into. I'm really looking forward to bringing you guys hopefully lots of videos, not just with what's going to be the career mode which we're kicking off today, but also some online stuff. We've got the YouTube YouTube Championship stuff to get back into, maybe some even more stuff as there's some chat going on between sort of me, Matt and Ben at the moment as to what we want to do with the online stuff. But we're going to be kicking off today with the career mode. You can see what settings we're going for. We're going for medium practice length, full practice to make sure we can get the new included stuff that the game has in regards to the development of the cars. 50% races to make sure we've got some variation of the strategy to be used throughout the races. And of course, difficulty wise, we're going to be going all the way up to the ultimate difficulty that plenty of people have been talking about in terms of it being maybe too hard or whatever, but I've not watched that much stuff really in regards to F1 2016 before this point as to what's going on, so it'll be a new challenge and a lot of new stuff coming into play for me. But this is the settings we're going with. Number 29 for us, British driver, the nice white and then sort of the gold and black helmet there, and we're going to be going Harry Jackson, my name, and the abbreviated name of NBL for Noble. So this is where we select our team then. So I had a little bit of debate as to what the where we want to start. I thought middle of the road should be good, and we're going to be going with Sahara Force India, the team that, the best part of a decade ago were pretty much the manner of the modern F1, where they're trading around the back of the pack, not doing a lot. So we're going to be taking Perez. That was not English. We're going to be picking Perez as our teammate. So we're replacing Nico Hulkenberg. Sorry, fella, you had your time, but you couldn't make anything of it. You couldn't make a move. You sat with Force India, and now you're out the door, mate. So in a bit, tyre allocation. For, of course, first round being Australia, we're going to pretty much leave it as standard. 6 sets of super softs, 4 softs and 3 mediums. Should set us up nicely with qualifying, and obviously not doing too much running in practice. They'll probably still have to hand back sets of unused tyres, which is a bit annoying, but that should be a pretty safe start to proceedings, as we now are going to sit down in our cheeky chair as if we're about to give a press conference of some sort. But it's like this lady's about to come over to us. Let's have a listen and see what she has to say.
Hi. I'm Emma Jenkins. I'm a specialist in contract law, and I've been brought in to work as your agent. I'll be working to get you the best deal in the boardroom, which means you need to do the best possible job out there on the circuit. When you get new contract offers, either from new teams or an amendment to your existing offer, it'll come through me. I'll also keep you up to date on discussions behind the scenes to change your terms, or any specific goals that the team has set for you. If a contract offer does come through, I'll present to you the available offers, and then you can make the call. I assume that all sounds fine. Well then, good luck this season, and I'll catch you later.
Alright, well, there you go. New contract, ready to sign, ready to go. Sahara Force India F1 team. We are your driver. Let's see what we can do in this first season of Formula 1 as ourselves. Starting off with practice 1. As I said, we've got the new development points and stuff, which you can see here. Practice program is what it's officially called. We've got track acclimatization, which we'll go to in a minute, time management, and then the qualifying pace at the end, as well as some additional team objectives which you can look into. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to go to the track acclimatization, and I'm just going to let you guys ride on board with my very first lap of this F1 2016 game.
DRS zone is coming up. Get ready to open it. Distance is on your MFD. fantastic. You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
So that's our first lap done. Straight away, getting the maximum points, well, pretty much the maximum points we get. Perfect, 50 out of 50 upgrade points gathered there. So that's a good run. Pretty subdued lap there, so just getting used to the feeling and the handling of the car. Must admit, I did obviously mention that's the first lap. I mean, I did do part of the handling beta, which was out sort of months ago, but so they've done a few updates since then, which I didn't get to sample. Well, I had the chance, but I didn't get around to doing it, unfortunately. So it is essentially like a brand new game. But coming back now to the tyre test, you can see we completed the 7 laps that were required. Again, purple across the board. And I just wanted to show you actually the race director to show you just how consistent, considering it's been months since we played the beta and it's changed a lot, and we're coming back into playing F1, considering it's been a long while we haven't played it. Just the initial consistency we've got there. I mean, you got starting off as the 2 medium tyre runs from before, and then the 29.9, 29.8. So you're literally looking at about, well, apart from that 30.2, pretty much 4 tenths either way. I mean, it's a pretty good average if you take those 7 laps and average it out. It's pretty consistent, which is a good start, good things to look into. So the handling model is quite, I'm really enjoying it so far. I mean, the back end is quite loose. It's quite hard to put the power down when turning. The braking could probably do with a little bit of work, to be honest. But all things considered, I am really enjoying the challenge. I know it's going to come up, but the whole pad versus wheel thing, I don't know what it's like. I mean, I don't play with the pad. I'm not good enough with the pad to be able to test it properly. I don't know what the traction's like on either, the steering assist, all of that rubbish. I mean, I've had people say no, it's less than what it used to be, but I guess only time will tell, as we're now completing our third and final program in practice, which was the qualifying time. You can see we, again, on the first lap, we've managed to beat what was required. Just on the third one, we're trying to push the boundaries a bit here, and you can see what happens when you push too far. Getting up on the curb on the AstroTurf, putting the power down, and the rear end just not liking it at all, spinning up the rears and doing well to just about avoid the barrier there. But that's going to be pretty much practice over. We've done everything the team required in terms of the program that they selected. Didn't quite meet all the objectives for the team, but I think the only one that we missed was not running 2 different car setups, because they were just running standard setups, because I haven't gone into that at all at the moment. So just focus on playing the game without ruining the, because from what we've done in the beta there, the setups really did seem a bit, I don't know, hit and miss, which I never really ventured into much. But you see in practice, we're beating our teammate up in the top 10. Obviously, we are on super softs compared to a lot of other drivers. And of course, practice in this game tends to be a lot like real life practice, where it's just a case of just driving around, gathering data, not looking to impress on the leaderboards. But we now get the introduction to the resource points. One of the things I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into in this career mode. It's something that the last few games have really been lacking in terms of, especially last game, you think you pick a car and you turn up to every race with the standard order, and it depends on how the AI have programmed as to whether you do well or not. This time round, you can make a difference with the upgrades you choose, as this chap is about to tell us. I'm sure as he has to bring his laptop with him, wouldn't want to leave that unattended. But let's have a listen and see what he has to say.
My name's Chris, and I'll be working with you as your Chief of Vehicle Development. It'll be my job to get your feedback as a driver and to direct our upgrade design in the areas that you feel are most lacking. At each Grand Prix, we can run a series of practice programs and log the performance of the car as you drive it at its limit. This gives us data that we can utilize to develop various performance improvements. In order for me to know which upgrades to prioritize, I'll need you to select a development area that you'd like us to focus on. And you can do that in the R&D section of your laptop. Anyway, that's all for now, but I'll keep you up to date, okay? I'll see you soon.
Cool beans. So he's off. So yeah, basically the R&D stuff is really going to be exciting. I think, progressing. Obviously, we started off in a middle of the road team. I say at some point I am going to be doing the whole mana blaster first, back to front, whatever you want to call it, career mode, where we're going to bring the mana hopefully to a championship winning team. But for now, see, we're starting at Sahara Force India in the bottom half of the table. You can see on the right hand side, you've got the bar just increasing sort of basically on 2 different ways depending on how many points you want to spend. So you've got the bottom one and the second one, fuel efficiency and drag, which cost less and they do less of an upgrade, but then the engine power, chassis weight and downforce increase it more. So being Force India with the Mercedes engine power is not going to be top of the list. We're going to be looking at, basically, I've gone with the weight one first of all, because I think that's going to have the biggest, pay the most dividends in terms of less weight. It's going to be better for fuel consumption, better for car handling, better for tyre wear. Pretty much, it's an all across the board upgraded rather than just increasing downforce or increasing top speed. You got a wide range of abilities to improve. As we now move into qualifying, we've managed to get through to Q3, thankfully. So one set of super softs used in each session so far. We're into the top 10, and we're going to do our flying lap, which is the lap we're going to use to see where we can get inside the top 10 grid. So I'm going to leave you with that, and try and not talk over it. Actually, no, I will talk over it, actually. See, I haven't done a lap properly yet, so I'll talk over this. So turn 1 and 2 was pretty difficult. So turn 2 can be quite hard if you've not got the car set up nicely. Coming into turn 3, late on the brakes there, tried a little bit of trail braking, bring the car over to the right hand side, and then it's really important to just throw the car in here, just try and feed in the power as best you can. A little bit of a lift through this right hand, so I noticed when you throw it in a full throttle, the rear end tends to slide, and you actually lose a bit of momentum here. Turned in a little bit early there, so the handling can be hit and miss in terms of whether the car slides in nicely, whether it grips up and just plows through, or if it just it sort of slides and understeers off. But so we just clipped the curve on the inside there. That unsettled the car a little bit. As you see, fighting the car all the way around the left-hander. So about 3 different corrections going through there, as it really is difficult to get on the power whilst you're turning as we come into the fast left-right. Just kissing the apex there, a little bit wide off there, not committing too dangerously, not wanting to go off the track and invalidate the lap times. It is our one and only run as qualifying is now complete. We need this lap to try and improve, as we need to see where we can get on the grid. We haven't been super fast. We've been pretty much scraping through each of the sessions so far. And then this Q3, so Ricciardo currently on pole, it's home Grand Prix. Well, I don't think we're going to get anywhere near a 25 flat, it must be said, but it'd be nice to at least make a Q10 appearance worthwhile, and maybe not start 10th, otherwise it'd be a waste of tyres really. So coming to the line now, completing our lap time, it's going to be a 26.3 by the looks of it. It is P9, so we've managed to gain at least 1 place on the grid here. So not a bad qualifying. So we beat the team objectives which were required. I think we had to beat Perez and qualify 11th, which we managed to do. It's worth noting as well, I haven't included it in the video, but Kimi Raikkonen I think has a 10 place grid penalty, and Bottas has a 5 place grid penalty for something they've done in Q1. So we're going to move up 2 more places. I believe we'll actually be starting in P7, which is pretty damn good considering we know we're in a Force India. We're punching well above our weight here. But as you can see, resource points for what we've managed to do in qualifying, pretty much got everything that we needed to do. Expected position was 14th, we've overachieved that, so that's good. Passed everything else that we had to do, no penalties gathered, so that's a good haul of resource points there, which we'll be looking to use in future episodes to get this car towards the further front end of the grid. And you see the rivalry with Perez, pretty much beating him on everything, although the fastest Sector 2 time, I'm not 100% sure what's going on there, because he was definitely faster than us, but okay, we'll take it. So yeah, pretty much a pub stop really for Sergio Perez there. What are you doing, son? But yeah, good start to qualifying. Obviously we've got the race now, which is going to be where the points are awarded. We've got the driver position, which I think is to do with the whole first driver, second driver, all this kind of thing. So we've again 2 points gained there, which is good. As we have now a voicemail.
Hey, how are you? I have some information on the race goals you should keep in mind.
So that's Emma just telling us we've got some race goals there. So finish the race in 11th place or higher and beat our teammate if we can, and to place 12th or higher, which is basically going to be finishing, well, 12th in the race pretty much so far. So those are our targets. So 11th is not going to give us any points, but it will satisfy the team if that's what it comes to. So that's going to be the goal really. So it's hard to predict where we're going to be, because obviously the car doesn't look to be that great. We're not in the top half of the performance, so it'll be hard to get points. But it is now race time for the Australian Grand Prix, episode 1 of this F1 2016 career mode. What's probably going to be a lot of episodes, whether it's going to be with the Force India or other teams and cars that we're going to venture into. We see we'll run through the grid here with Crofty.
And Daniel Ricciardo starts from pole position with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and Massa, a Force India, Sainz, Kvyat and Fernando Alonso, Perez, Bottas, Esteban Gutierrez and Raikkonen, Button, Grosjean, Felipe Nasser and Kevin Magnussen, Palmer and Ericsson, Pascal Wehrlein and Rio Haryanto completes the grid.
So not good qualifying. You'll notice from Hamilton there, down in, I think it was like 5th or 6th place or something, so quite poor from him, and he'll be looking to make up a few places off the start, I'm sure. But we are starting P7. Here's the race strategy. What we got here, we've got the 2-stop looking to be the favoured race time there, 14 seconds quicker, which is a lot of time. But we're going to go to the grid. We haven't got formation lap for some reason. I must have forgot to turn it on, but we've now got the lights coming on. We've got the manual starts to get used to. 5 red lights, away they go. Managing the wheel spin if we can. Hamilton's got a blistering start. We've got a pretty decent start in the second phase as well. Vettel's got a disastrous start as we passed Massa. We've got Verstappen and Vettel ahead. We're going to just hold it around the outside of Verstappen, who are interested. He's on soft tyres. He's obviously on a different strategy. The yellow flag's flashing up briefly, but we've managed to gain one position off the start ahead of Felipe Massa. We're going to go a bit defensive into turn 3 here to make sure we're not going to be passed by anyone, but it looks like we're going to be able to stabilise in 6th place. So 1 place gained off the start. Hamilton got an absolute, just went off like a missile. He's gone from, what was it, 5th to 3rd, and just split the Verstappen and Vettel. So pretty good start from him. You see, already it looks like we're going to be suffering a little bit compared to these cars. I think we're punching above our weight in terms of pure lap time around these cars. But we're going to do what we can. We've got track position. Australia's not a particularly good track to pass on, and with the strategy variations that look to be coming into play, it's going to be pretty damn interesting to see how this race unfolds. We are going to, as we have to defend from Massa, is he's got some tremendous speed down this sort of curved back straight. He's looking around the outside, but he's surely not going to make that work, and we can defend that one nicely and hold on as Massa actually looks to have cost us quite a lot of time through there, which is going to give us a nice little break. As we now come to the end of lap 2, Hamilton, you see, setting fast laps on 28.4, winning 30.8, so that's nearly 2.5 seconds a lap slower at this stage of the race already. But we've got Massa behind. Verstappen's cleared off up ahead. We've got Massa behind, as I say, with DRS, so we're going to have to go a little bit defensive into turn 3. As we defend, we've been touched, we're sideways, we're across the inside, we're in the gravel, wow, thanks Massa, cheers. So Massa has just nerfed us off the track completely, and we're trying to recover back to the track if we can. There goes Kimi Raikkonen in 10th, so we are down to 11th place now. We've gone from 6th to 11th with what I'm sure is a pretty severe helping hand from the Williams of Felipe Massa behind. I'm pretty sure I didn't change direction on the way into, I mean, you can see I'm on the inside, and Massa's coming up behind. And yeah, just, I don't know, I don't think we broke particularly early, but he just punted us off. I don't know if it was like almost a Gutierrez and Alonso thing from Australia, where the difference in closing speed was just too much. But I mean, that is a hefty old whack that sent us flying into the gravel, and that is really going to hurt our race now, because we haven't got track position. We're not going to be able to try and hold up the drivers behind us to make our strategy work. We've now got dirt on our tyres, and Gutierrez rampaging up behind us, and we need to try and fend off as we try and regain our confidence and our marbles to try and keep going in this race and try and fight for what's left. Hopefully some points if we can. I mean, we've got the cars up ahead, but again, you're looking at a Ferrari and a Williams and all those kind of guys. That's going to be really tough to drive against in the moment. Our main worry is to try and get back on the pace and stop Gutierrez from passing us. So again, similar to Massa on lap 1, looking around the outside as we come into the fast left-right, but he's done the same thing as Massa and backed out of it. And we've got, well, it looks like we've got a crash actually going on between the cars behind. So it's all kicking off on lap 3. We've had 2 incidents pretty much involved, well, in and around ourselves. Don't really know what's happened with this one. I presume it's going to be a Gutierrez trying to move and going too wide and driving across the track and somebody collecting him. Let's have a look. So he's gone around the outside. He has gone wide. Here comes his teammate, of all people. And they've just, I don't know, driven into each other. And here comes, I presume that's Button, just cruising up behind them. And he's even made contact with bloody French baguette man. Bloody Grosjean. Going about 2 miles an hour, they still managed to crash into each other. So that's not particularly great to see, but here we go. So we're actually up on lap 7 now. We've got to up to P4s. A few cars ahead of us have actually pitted and looking to probably do a 3-stop. Got the manual pit stops. Well, in terms of slowing down for line, we were very cautious on the way in there. It's the first time we've done that on the game as well, so it's good to see we managed to do that without any penalties. Putting on the soft tyres, 2.1 second pit stop, not too shabby. But yeah, really, it's like there's a difference in strategy going on. But you can see just in the top left, we've got medium runners, soft runners, and super soft runners just mixing it about. So yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to follow exactly what's going on in this race, as we're now being passed by a Manor, which is never a good sign. And oh, good, I'm really glad to see who's now behind us coming into our favourite corner. Cheers. Right, so Massa's pitted ahead of us, so he's put on the medium tyres. He's going to look around the outside again. We're going to make sure he doesn't hit us off this time round. Covering the inside nicely, and we have managed to hit our braking point and defend that position so far, as we're now looking to see what we can do in the second stint of the race. Now up behind Haryanto, so just a little later in the lap, we managed to catch up to him nicely. Almost losing the back end there off the curb with the full throttle. Really does seem to be a trait of this game. It's not close enough to make a move into turn 1. We just need to make sure that we pick up a nice line through turn 1, maximise the exit, get the power on nice and early, and use these fresh tyres to our advantage. DRS as well, slipstream as well, all are working in our favour. And here we go, cruising up to the back of him, up the inside, doesn't put up too much for a fight. Gone in a little bit deep, but we just managed to hold it on the exit of the corner, and that is a position gain. That's going to give us a nice little buffer to Massa. It looks like Bottas up ahead doing the same strategy as Massa. He's on the medium tyres as well, and Nasser still out on his original set by the looks of things. So Bottas has now got past him. We're going to look to pass Nazo here, and you see with the superior traction, even with DRS on both cars, the Mercedes engine, the better tyres allows us to get past him with no issues at all. Can't quite take the racing line into turn 1, but we managed to hit the apex nicely there and defend that position beautifully. So that's now up into P13. It'll be interesting to see what we can do against Bottas, as again the back end of the car really all over the place. As we're now coming up to lap 12, or we're on lap 12, we've got Raikkonen ahead, we've got Sainz who's a lap down, he's really hit trouble and being a bit of a bitch at the moment. If he would get out of the way, that would be great. As we're now looking up the inside, he's turned in, there's a little nick on the front wing, and thankfully that has not given us any forms of damage by the looks of things. But up ahead we've got Raikkonen, who I think at this stage of the race was suffering with some sort of car problem, which is why he's dropped so far down the field. Perez, our teammate, and this other car, Alonso, now coming out the pits, and it's all getting tight between these three cars. We're going around the outside of Raikkonen into turn 2. Bit of wheel banging there, picking up the slipstream, DRS on Alonso as well, and that is 2 overtakes in 2 corners, done and dusted, as Bottas is now the car ahead. But yeah, that's 2 good moves pulled off, and that's going to be important for our race to get ahead of Alonso, as I'm a little bit worried about these guys. They've done 12 laps on softs and they've now got the mediums on. I'm almost inclined to say they're going to be pretty much on a one-stop strategy this race. At this stage of the race, they're looking at a one-stop strategy, so that'll be interesting to see if they can make that work. We are definitely committed to at least a 2-stop, because we're not going to the end on these tyres. As you can see here, we've made it to lap 18, and we are going to have to be coming in again. Bottas is stayed out. We've managed to hit the net. Now that braking point a bit better with the pit stop. Much better than the first attempt, but yeah, there's a lot of different strategies going on. There wasn't a lot of action going on the track, unfortunately, so it was quite hard to include what was going on. So, I mean, you can notice it when driving, but in terms of trying to include it in the video, it's hard to do. But I think there's variations of 3 stops going on from the leaders, 1 stops from those who started outside the top 10, and then you got the odd 2-stop as well. One of us, and I don't know how many other drivers are actually trying a 2-stop at this stage, but we've come out in P12. We've got the 2 Renaults behind us going hammer and tongs with each other. Looks like Palmer's got the best of that battle, but we need to make sure we clear them, which we've managed to do. And again, absolutely shit all happened through the rest of this final stint, apart from where it looked like we might have been closing in on Button on his medium tyres on the 1-stop, but then with the last 2 or 3 laps, the tyres really seemed to go off, and Massa putting us under huge pressure on his super soft tyres. They are really quite fresh. I think they're only about 5 laps old, so he went on the mediums obviously in the previous stint, and then back onto super softs, and our soft tyres, you can see the wear doesn't look that high, the percentage isn't that high, but it was really noticeable to drive with just how little rear end grip there was. The car was sliding around in the mid corner turn in and the exit. It was just a bit of a nightmare. Lewis Hamilton is your race winner for the Australian Grand Prix. He was going defensive again on Massa. He's putting all his eggs in one basket. He's gone around the outside, and that has cost him hugely, and that might just be our get out of jail free cars. He's cost himself a lot of time, and he's not surely going to be able to make up the best part of a couple of seconds in just a sector. As we now come around the final corner on the final lap, P11 is where we are. Massa not close enough to get the run to the line to beat us, and it's going to have to be a non-point scoring finish for us after round 1. So we didn't quite manage to hold on to points. I'm going to blame that on partly Massa and partly I think the strategy just wasn't that great. So we were quite conservative going with the 2-stop. I mean, a couple of times during the race the engineer was saying there might be other strategies available, but one of the downsides to that is it doesn't tell you exactly what that strategy option is, so it's a bit hard to know what they've got planned and things, so I didn't take the risk with that. That might have been one of the downsides to our race, but so we met the team objectives, so they can't be too happy, but he's going to be very happy. Toto Wolff, he's got a 1-2 I believe with his man Hamilton on top ahead of Rosberg, and you consider Hamilton started in 5th place, that is a damn good drive for him to be able to pull that off. But that's it for us. To say with P11, no points on our debut. I believe our teammate did finish in the points as well on the 1-stop. The 1-stop has really seemed to benefit. So from what I've worked out from this one race so far, the fewer pit stops you can do, the better shape you're going to be in. So that might be something to take into consideration moving forward. Obviously, let me know guys, in the comments below what you found from your opening few races, or whatever you've done so far in regards to your strategies and things in races, and what you've noticed the AI doing and what's worked for you. But celebrations on the podium here, champagne's flying. Daniel Ricciardo done well with his home pole position, but slipped to 3rd in the end. Mercedes unbeatable as per usual.
And after this round of the World Championship, Here's how things look in the driver's
So
table.
there you can see the
Lewis
official results then.
takes
So
over
you
the
got
lead of the
Hamilton
Drivers'
did win the race on the
Championship
2 stop,
after
and then you got the 3
excellent
stop in
result. And now
Rosberg,
I'd
and
like
then
to
1
ask
stop in
you,
Alonso up in
Anthony
6th
Davidson,
place,
who was your
which is
driver of
pretty
the day?
incredible.
Well, I have to give
So
it to
2 stop
Junior, I
did seem to be
think.
pretty favourable among the
Consistency,
drivers, but it
that's
just
all
really didn't
sensible
work out for us.
driving.
So we were
You can be
54
pleased
seconds
with
off the
that
pace, so the
performance
best
today.
part of nearly 2
And now
seconds
let's
elapsed
take a
slower
look
than the
at the
Mercedes. But
constructors' standings.
whether that's just
Mercedes
well,
moved to the
us not
top
being
of
up to
the
scratch
table.
with the
There'll be
game,
plenty
or
more
whether that is
twists
just the
and
true
turns
pace
to
of the
come
Mercedes
this
compared to the
season.
Force India, I
Hope
don't
you'll
know.
join us at the next
We'll
one
obviously
to
find out
see
more
just
as the
who's will come
championship
out
goes
on
on.
top.
But for now, that has been episode 1. That has been the Australian Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed it. So there wasn't too much action, which no, I can only apologise for. I'm not obviously in control of what the AI do and what strategies they do, but we made the most of what we had. So we had the collision with Massa, which really set us back for the majority of the race. We've still got some good resource points gained. Again, the rivalry update, so we've done a decent job against Sergio Perez once again, so that's good to see. So the team will be happy at least, even if we're not particularly satisfied with the non-point scoring finish. But we've got upgrades to come, we've got points to use, so we'll be moving the car forward. Next race up, I believe, is, was it Bahrain? I actually don't know. I can't remember. I think it's Bahrain, isn't it? So we'll be under the lights of Bahrain. Hopefully, it looks like a power track really with all the straights, so we might go a bit better there. However, we've now got whatever this is on screen, the career score, which doesn't look to be anything in particular. So yeah, I think that's going to be that there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your comments in the section below with your feedback and what you thought of the episode and what you're thinking of the game so far. All of that good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next episode or whatever video comes out next for F1 2016. But until then, it is bye for now.